Hello and welcome back to our video series detailing the functionality of our CycloMedia plugin to AutoCAD. My name is Sean Kinahan. I'm a senior software engineer with Brockwell IT, and today I will be demonstrating how to export measurements from the StreetSmart side, this viewer here, directly into AutoCAD and create native AutoCAD entities from those measurements. You may have already noticed the sections on the ribbon panel for location, distance, and surface. We're going to start out with location. As you can see, there's a 2D and 3D toggle for each of these measurement types, as well as a list of entities that can be created for that type. So for point, the options that are currently supported include creating a simple AutoCAD point, a block reference, a text annotation, just XY. For polyline, we have your simple polyline and arc, for distance I should say. For surface, we can create polygon meshes, a simple polyline, or a hatched polyline. Hatches, of course, are 2D only, and if you attempt to create a hatch while in 3D mode, you'll get a little warning about it. For now, let's start with point and the corresponding location measurement in the StreetSmart side. Using this button here, called Start Measuring, you'll pop up this list of options. For now, we're doing the location method. Note that at any point you can come up here and adjust these, so if you've made a measurement and then you decide, oh, I actually wanted a block, I didn't want a point, that's not a problem. So for example, you can click anywhere here. You'll see a warning if the point is not completely reliable, along with a description of the error. So if we want a really reliable measurement, we can keep on deleting the point and trying again. Sometimes it takes a few tries to get a reliable point. Sometimes you just are luckier than other times. The yellow warning, the too few observations, is in my experience a better warning to have than the red warning, which is typically to say that the yellow warning implies a less severe error. We'll go ahead with that. We're not too concerned with reliability at the current moment. We'll go ahead and export that measurement. So again, we're creating a point on the AutoCAD side here. And in fact, there it is. Go ahead and delete that. As I said, we've made our measurement here on the StreetSmart side, but we can switch this up and create a block from it. When I create a block, I will see a tree table of the blocks already in the drawing with the opportunity to insert from that. I only have a simple, very simple circle block to insert right now, just for demo purposes. And of course, the last type for location is text. We can go ahead and export a simple text notation, just XY in the coordinates. This is of course editable just like any AutoCAD text, and that point would correspond to this point. When we want to switch measurement types, we're going to go ahead and move on to distance. There's a few options here. We can exit measurement mode using this X in the top right corner, or you can also press new measurement right here. I'll press that, it's a little more expedient than exiting and re-entering measurement mode because you get to stay in measurement mode. You can still pan around while you're in measurement mode, as well as zoom to get a better angle on things. So you'll see we got a warning there on our first point. I don't know about our second point. Oops, not what I meant to do. If you expand this, you'll see the list of the points along with some information about them. Delta XY, delta Z. Both points have problems, but again, we're not too concerned right now with the reliability since this is just a demo measurement. Let's try creating a 2D polyline. And there we have it. Now here, this is a good example. Here what you can see is a result of that inaccurate measurement. It looks like this point 1 is being reported as being way off here. Now whether that is accurate to the drawing or accurate to the viewer, we can't really say. We only have center lines currently on this drawing here. But it doesn't seem quite right, and that's the sort of thing that if you saw it while making a measurement, you'd likely want to go in here and delete your points, redo the measurement until you had something 100% reliable. There is another distance measurement entity I can show, which is an arc. Let's make a 3D arc. So what this will do is create the best approximation of a arc that goes through these 3 points. I can already tell right now that these are not accurate measurements at all. This is registering as 94 feet when just judging it by eye it looks like maybe 10, 15 feet. So we'll see. I'm expecting to get a strange looking shape over here on the right side though. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so in fact, if we select it here, we can typically see, so there's the start point 1. 2 is being registered as way over here. And our third point there is relatively close to the first point, but again, it's closer to the viewer, the third point, than the first point is, which is not the way it is displayed in the viewer. So the point I'm trying to make here is just to always be very careful when using this, because there are times when what you're seeing in the viewer in viewer measurement mode just doesn't quite line up with what you'd expect when it goes into AutoCAD, and to always check your measurements thoroughly and make sure that they are as accurate as possible. This last kind of measurement is surface measurement. So as its name implies, we're going to need 3 or more points to define a surface. There we are. That actually worked out pretty well. We do have some errors here, but the shape and the relative lengths of the sides leads me to believe that this should be alright. We shouldn't get a really strange looking shape like we got before. This is about what I'd expect. So let's try creating a polygon mesh. There we have it. Nothing too extreme. Again, it's still for the most part a two-dimensional shape even when creating a AutoCAD entity from it. Simple polyline, not very different from distance. There we are. And then of course the hatched area. You can try that. And again, we're in 3D mode, so we'll get this little warning. When we're in 2D mode, it doesn't happen. In order to define the region for the hatch, we need to be in 2D, so that's the reason that happens. Delete that. And we'll just try that again in 2D mode. And there you have it. So either way, the reason you get that little warning there is just so that you aren't surprised when there is no z-axis. Other than that, these points do have an elevation information to them. They do have a z-axis, so exporting as polyline or polygon mesh will retain the elevation data of these points. Thank you very much. Please check in with our other videos to learn more about this plugin.